The first lawsuits involving automobiles involved frightened horses, people suing because my automobile scared your horse and ran off and tumped your carriage over, or whatever it might be. And believe it or not, there was once a jury question on the issue of whether my operation of a motor vehicle on the roadways was reasonable. Over time, again, the common law adapted. And then we get to the first modern products case involving automobiles, MacPherson versus Buick. Benjamin Cardozo, 1916. A wooden wheel, believe it or not, a wooden wheel collapsed in that case. And Justice Cardozo said, yes, there could be a verdict for the car owner who was ejected from that car. And then we have the full flowering of auto products law before this, but certainly by 1981 in the Grimshaw versus Ford case. That's the Ford Pinto case, the $11 part that Ford left out and was causing explosions. So when an AV malfunctions, who are the potential defendants? The AV operator, the AV manufacturer, the manufacturer of the component parts, and yes, the developer of the software. Software is programmed on these AVs to make certain assumptions. One big question, believe it or not, is an ethical one. Mercedes-Benz just grappled with this question. If I'm making software that controls an AV, is the software designed to protect and to take steps to maximize the health of the people inside the AV, or pedestrians, or the people in other cars? What if the AV needs to be steered in such a way to save the lives of the people in the AV, but that it will cause risk of death or serious bodily injury to other people on the roadway? What should that AV do? Well, Mercedes-Benz answered that question, and they said, we're going to program our AVs to protect the occupants of our AVs. That's the priority and the premise we're going to place on it. The other ethical issue is this. Some people are dying and are going to continue dying because of this new technology that ultimately will and probably can save lives. But there will be different people who will die who otherwise wouldn't have died. The lady walking her bicycle in front of that Uber. But for an AV, she probably would still be alive and walking around today, but she's now dead. But other people's lives will be saved. So we are consciously trading on the lives we forfeit versus the lives we save with AVs. At least some would argue that, and I would agree. What kinds of theories could be asserted when an AV malfunctions? All of the same theories you can assert in any kind of products case. The same theories. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, pun intended. You don't need to reinvent the wheel in an AV case. You don't need to federally preempt causes of action. Breaches of manufacturing defects, design defects, marketing defects, misrepresentations, negligence, express and implied warranties, warranties of fitness for a particular purpose. All the instructions and guidance that come with a Tesla, for example, do they create a false sense of security? Do they adequately warn the users that it's not really fully autonomous, that autopilot is not really autopilot? You still must stay engaged. You cannot and should not be checking phone messages as you're racing down the roadway. That would be a question a jury, I would submit to you, could and should weigh in on.